I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Huh?
Welcome back to the channel. We are getting closer and closer to Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday feels like it's right around the corner. I believe we have the full trailer dropping in about 2 to 3 weeks at the time of this recording. And now we're getting information that the test screenings for this movie are as positive, if not higher, than the test screenings that Infinity War got. The audience that was in these screenings are saying that this is the Russo brothers' best Marvel film. That's saying a lot when you consider that the Russo brothers are behind Infinity War, Endgame, The Winter Soldier, and Civil War. Now, in my opinion, I could make the argument in the case that Civil War and The Winter Soldier are better than Infinity War. They are clearly better than Endgame, both of those movies. But to put Avengers Doomsday in terms of Avengers movies, like you have the first Avengers, Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and now we have Avengers Doomsday. If we're going to rank Avengers Doomsday as on the same tier as Avengers Infinity War, that is high praise. That is the highest praise you can give it, because in terms of Avengers movies, Avengers Infinity War is by far the best Avengers movie. I could make a case for Age of Ultron being at number 2. I'd probably give it to Endgame, then go to Ultron, and then the first Avengers movie in that order if I was just doing it off the top of my head. But I'm not sure how much I don't want to say that Marvel is lying. I just think that this is just a marketing thing that they're supposed to do. When they were leading up to Avengers, the first Avengers movie, I'm sure that the audience score was like, hey, this is going to be a great movie. This is the best Marvel movie that's come out since Iron Man. Avengers Age of Ultron, this is better than the first Avengers. Avengers Infinity War, this is better than Guardians of the Galaxy. Like every next movie, they're always going to hype it up. Now, with Avengers Doomsday, they are hyping this movie up a whole lot, based on obviously the directors and the writers, Russo brothers, bringing back Robert Downey Jr., bringing back Chris Evans, having Thor in the movie, having the Fantastic Four, having the Wakandans. They have a massive roster of characters and actors. Like, I didn't even mention the X-Men are going to be in this. The hype for this movie is unreal. There is no way that they can match the hype of this movie, especially when you consider the hype that we had going into Endgame. Like, I don't know if people remember that, but we were just like, yo, this is it. How do you wrap up 10 to 15 years of storytelling in one movie? And Marvel did a pretty good job of that. And now now you're going to tell me that they're going to do this again? This is going to be the best of the best. This is peak Marvel. And this isn't even Secret Wars. This isn't even Spider-Man. We're putting up on that kind of level. They have to feel completely and utterly confident in this movie and what they've done. And I hope they do. I'm not upset that they feel this way about it, but I don't need Marvel to, kind of lie to me and say, like, oh, this movie's going to be better than Infinity War. Just say that, hey, the movie's going to be fire. And actually, let the people tell us that. Like, don't let the test audience tell us that. And side note, how do I get on that? Do I have to live in LA to go to one of these test screenings? I would love to go to a test screener. I would love to see a unfinished or the first version of a movie before it comes out. So Kevin Feige, Marvel, Disney, if you're watching this, DC, James Gunn, I would love to be a test screen. I would love to watch these movies and give my opinion on it and not speak about it. Or I would love to go to these movies, see these screeners, watch it. You guys put me on the payroll, and I say it's good whether it's good or not. I don't have a problem. This channel is for sale. Email me, marcussniffles@yahoo.com. I will shill your product for any dollar amount. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys something. About 90% of you guys that watch this video are not subscribed to the channel. Don't be a weirdo. Subscribe to the channel. Don't be part of the 90%. Be a part of the 10%. And let's get that 10% to 90%. So 90% of you guys that are watching are actually subscribed. That will help me out a lot. Cost you nothing. It's free and I'd appreciate it. But after seeing the news about what people are saying about Avengers Doomsday, and then before that, we got the trailer for the one-shot Punisher movie, and we also got a couple of screenshots from the Spider-Man movie. It kind of got me thinking, is this the best year in the MCU ever? Like in terms of movie, TV shows, all put together, we rank everything out. Is this Marvel's best year? And obviously, you know, when you talk about peak Marvel at their best, the first year that comes to mind is obviously 2014. That is the year that we got Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Those two peak Marvel movies, easily top 10, make an argument for top 5, both those movies. The next year we have 2016, where we get Civil War and the first Doctor Strange. I like the first Doctor Strange. I thought that was a very good adaptation of that character, and it was a totally different feel and vibe from anything that Marvel had made at that time. And obviously Civil War is just amazing, like no notes, almost damn near perfect. And then we have 2017 Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Thor Ragnarok. Those are three, oh my goodness, like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 isn't on par with Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 3, but it's still one of the better Marvel movies to come out. Spider-Man Homecoming, one of my personal favorites. I think it's the best Spider-Man movie to come out to date. And then we have Thor Ragnarok, which is obviously unquestionably the best Thor movie to come out. And it's wild to look back at this to think how consistent Marvel used to be. Like, we're talking about 2014, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy. 2016, 2 years later, Civil War, Doctor Strange. The very next year, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok. Those are all three impressive years. If DC had any one of those years during their run with, you know, Zack Snyder, they'd be a multi-billion-dollar company and he'd still be in business doing his thing. But he didn't have a single, like, one film run like that. You made it this far. If you have not liked the video at this point, what are you waiting for? Just like the video. Hit the like button right now. I'm talking to you. Make sure you like the video and subscribe and drop a comment. All that stuff. This is a threat, not a threat, a warning, but it could be a threat. Just do it. So it got me to thinking, like, is 2026 going to be the best year for Marvel of all time? Obviously, we had season 1 to Wonder Man. I did a review on that. Fantastic show. So great that it got a season 2. We also are in the midst of watching Daredevil season 2, which, for my money, is getting close to being on par with the next Netflix version of Daredevil. And like I said, we have the Punisher special presentation. Then we move into Spider-Man Brand New Day, which has a shitload of heroes, not a shitload of heroes, has a shitload of villains in it, and could be one of the more impressive Spider-Man storylines we've gotten from Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man. At some point, we're going to get Vision Quest towards the end of the year, which is the quote-unquote end of the trilogy that started with WandaVision and then went to Agatha All Along, and it's supposed to culminate in Vision Quest. And then we have Avengers Doomsday to end out 2026. I don't think Marvel is ever going to top a year like this, especially when you consider what they're doing on TV. That's kind of a cheat code. Like Wonder Man, Daredevil, Punisher, Vision Quest all have the possibility of being top 5 Marvel TV shows, and they also have the advantage of learning from past mistakes that Marvel has made earlier with their TV shows. So the same mistakes they made with WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Miss Marvel, they're not going to make those same mistakes with Daredevil and Vision Quest. Same thing with like the Avengers, with Spider-Man. And then you also got to consider the hype around these movies, especially with Spider-Man, especially with Avengers Doomsday. The hype just keeps growing and growing and growing. So I'm happy to be a Marvel fan at this time. I'm happy to be able to get on here and talk to you guys about Marvel and what Marvel is going, where Marvel is going, and the stuff they're doing. I think 2026 by far will be the best Marvel year to date. Let me know in the comments which year you think is better, which Avengers movie do you think is better between Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame? And am I right? Is the very first Spider-Man, that's the best Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man Homecoming? We all agree on that, right? Or am I the only one? I might be the only one. I don't know. Let me know in the comments so we can talk about it. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.